Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to a Private Practice Mastery. Supporting my England shirt. Actually, I've just come out from the gym, so I thought I'd just come in and quickly do a quick live with you, particularly with today's topic, which we're actually going to be talking about. How can you be omnipresent in social media without being really tech savvy? So I'm Dr. Michael Lee, founder of the Private Practice Mastery. And how many of you realize that being on social media is like an extension of people's arms now? Actually, more important, how many have a mobile phone? If you have a mobile phone, you'll know that you're probably on social media all the time, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat if you're a young one. But there's all these different social media platforms that you'll be using to gain joy, happiness. You may be a bit nosy. You maybe just want to find out what's going on in other people's lives. But whatever it is, we cannot get away from social media. But the thing is that if you have got a practice, you need to be thinking, how can I utilize social media so people can see what we do? Because if people can't see and they're not exposed to it, you could be the best thing since sliced bread, but just be stuck underneath a rock. And I don't want you to be that way, because if you've got something to give that serves, that helps people, gets people out of pain, improves people's lives, makes them happier, makes them healthier, you should not be underneath a rock. But if you're not omnipresent in social media, that's exactly where you are now. So what I want everyone, if you're watching this, let me know if you watch this live or as a replay so I can interact with you as well. If you are a practice owner and you're thinking, I don't know where to start with social media, just start with one platform. Then a second, then a third, then a fourth. But then you'll be able to get lots of different technology to actually then live stream it to different sorts of platforms. And then you only do it once, because you want to make sure it saves you time. Because time, you may have a very little of. If you're a clinician and a business owner at the same time, you may be seeing patients. If I've only got a few minutes to do something on social media, that's fine. Use technology to your advantage. And I want you to use as much technology as possible, because technology, if you know it, yes, it will help you, but you don't need to be tech savvy. Because remember, tech savvy, these are people who are like in front of a computer, coding, doing this, that, and that. Because you could also just use, like the software I'm using today, is something called Ecamm. It streams onto all of our social media platforms, and I record it once. There are other ones out there as well. Off the top of my head, what other ones are there? There's Hive. There's another one called, I think it's called Replay. I think there's one called Replay. But there's all these different ones that you can check out that will work for you. But whatever it may be that does work for you, I want you to then make sure you have a plan. Because a lot of people, they kind of haphazardly post on social media, I'll do this, I'll do that. And guess what? With the consistency of being inconsistent, people will then remember you as, that inconsistent group. So they're not really everywhere. They're not the ones who are the leaders. They're not the ones that are positioned as the ones that we need to go to. So make sure that you are always positioning yourself as the leaders. And you only can do that by being omnipresent, being everywhere. But I know some of you may be starting in social media. Some of you may be doing it for a long time. If you're doing it for a long time, then see how you can add different pieces. We call them value pieces. Teach them something about what you do. Give them a vibe in terms of what your environment is like. Give them some information in terms of what your team is like. Give them some background knowledge, or give them some, we call it behind the scenes footage, so that they get to see these people are actually human. They're not just robotic. They're not the people in white coats. They're not the people that are actually just like a hospital. They're very serious. They're actually human. They're actually going to be, because it's not about, think about if you're a practice, you're business to customer, so B2C, or some of you may be working in B2B, or B to governments, B2G, but ultimately it's H to H. It's human to human. And this is why I want to make sure that if you're connecting well enough between humans, you will always win in social media, because people will then see you as being genuine, being authentic, being honest, being trustworthy. But you must be able to be omnipresent. But you need to look for the right softwares. But I'm going to give you an extra tip here. When it comes down to social media platforms, make sure that you don't choose the wrong platform, because you need to also choose your audience. Where does your audience hang out? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Snapchat? Are they on YouTube? Whatever it is, if anything, you try them all, and then just look at the numbers, the insights, and say, okay, I've had more people opening my posts on this platform. And guess what? That's where all your audience lives. post more on there, and then you'll be gaining more of your audience that will inquire and want to speak to you. But the easiest thing is use one program like what I'm using, Ecamm, and that's what I use. But because we teach around the world, I have a team, my marketing team, they'll be posting on my behalf to make sure every single post around each platform is delivered at the right time, at the right place, to the right people in terms of what they're doing. I'm looking at the psychology of it as well. When people are sleeping at night, they're not going to watch a video because there'll be someone next to them. They'll probably have a long copy post, which a long copy is just something to read or a picture because they'll be on the phone in bed. But it's about understanding people's behaviors. So I really hope that you understand in terms of how to be omnipresent here is that you cannot just keep giving offers all the time. You need to give them value posts, all right? Behind the scenes, give them background about yourself, your services, your products, and then you can give them an offer. But you need to be giving them all these different pieces of value so that they can know, like, and trust you. And once you give them more, then you become omnipresent, and then they'll respect you more as well. So I hope you found this live really helpful for you. If you have any questions, put in the comments. More than happy to help you. Other than that, I'll see you next week for the next live, more about how to elevate your private practice. Bye for now. Have a great week.